Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Lamplight City. My name is Darwin and I play video games. This is a wonderful adventure game that was just released this past fall. It's a steampunk-ish murder mystery detective style game, and I'm having a blast playing it, and I'm so glad that I got back into recording these videos. So we are trying to find out who tried to make it look like Madame Dupre, this lady right here. Almost died, and they tried to set up a black man named Albert Martin, who was dating Madame Dupre's daughter Juliette. So in our last adventure, we got the location of Madame Dupre's second husband, Jean, who is out here at this hunting cabin, and that is where we are going. There's a lot of talking and explanation in this game, during which I will refrain from commentary, so kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Strange of Dupre to leave the door unlocked. Maybe it means he'll be returning soon.
It's a missing rifle on the gun rack.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently.
He's quite the hunter, huh?
Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting.
Well, we're here. We might as well snoop around, right? Rule 101 of adventure game. Or 101 of adventure gaming. Rule number 1 in course 101. My goodness, I can't speak today. If it's not nailed down, it's yours.
Let's see if Jean has anything interesting in here.
Not very much, except a letter.
Dear Jean, thank you so much for your help. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from my studies is just unbelievable. Don't worry, I won't tell her you made the university change their minds. One attempt to ruin a life is quite enough. Juliette.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean Dupre, I presume?
Yes, that's right. Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the attempted murder of your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Forgive my rudeness, but you startled me.
Perfectly understandable, Mr. Dupre.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
Wait, that was on his back before. How did I... Okay.
I had a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child. One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest.
Alright, we can check this stuff out later. Let's talk to Jean.
Can we talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
I suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Dupre?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
Does he peddle pills with his stepson?
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Oh, my dear wife, the past few days have been just awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
Lord, does he actually expect anyone to believe that nonsense?
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Dupre, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me? Who are you to lecture me on my marriage?
A fellow married man, that's who. Your wife has just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
But with all the confusion at the house with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor, I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something, and for once, I don't think it's from his wife.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to take one look at him to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
At least our voice in the head is kind of funny.
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together. But they're both so busy with school, I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses, excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Dupre avoids his family on purpose. But why?
Do you know anything about Madame Dupre trying to get Juliet taken out of her classes at the university?
Yes. Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal. I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs. If she wants to study, she should be free to do so. I wrote them a letter myself, without Laura's knowledge, telling them to disregard the previous request for withdrawal.
That's very good of you.
Yes, well, I dislike seeing people being told what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants at his home. Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
It seems Mr. Dupre is a Bollingworth man. Maybe he's not so bad after all.
I really hope at some point in this game we see somebody like face down in Nevada Bollingworth.
An absolute bore. Are these even native to New Bretagne? Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures. Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear. You really have to wonder about someone who chooses to surround themselves with dead things.
Anything else in here? Alright. We did speak to
We haven't got anything else.
Alright, so there must be more that we need to come back to him on. Maybe Juliet again?
Hello again, Miss Montgomery. Mind answering a few more questions?
Hello, Miss.
Did your mother try to get you withdrawn from the university?
As a matter of fact, she did. Just another one of the many ways she tried interfering with my life.
What happened, exactly?
Mother wrote the university requesting that I be withdrawn. I found out about it when the enrollment office contacted me. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought it was some sort of mistake, but then they showed me the letter.
I take it you were upset.
More than upset, Mr. Fordham. I was furious. I was trying to make a real life for myself. One that wasn't about dresses or debutante balls or fending off suitors. I'd been given the chance to make something of myself, and Mother was ready to bring it all crashing down, just because she didn't agree with it.
But in the end, you're still here.
Yes, Jean stepped in and fixed everything. He didn't have to do it, but it was very good of him. I'm afraid that was the beginning of the end of my relationship with Mother. We never really managed to fix things after that.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Fordham, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Wait, what am I saying? Of course you are. Madame Dupre has been interfering with Juliet's studies and disapproved of her relationship with Martin, hence they're falling out. Plus, the information in Juliet's notes about ethericity, putting animals into a death-like trance, seems awfully suspicious. It's enough to establish both means and motive. That's plenty to consider her a suspect.
It is, but why would she want to frame her boyfriend? Turn to Upton and accuse Juliet Montgomery? Do we have to do that? I don't think it's so simple. Let's go check out a few other things before we do. Let's go back to the manor.
This quack hasn't got... As amusing as it is to check...
Is it really this simple? We've exhausted everything in the house.
The science of pharmac...
Just want to take a quick look around. This is where we found the key, if I'm not mistaken.
Locked. This...
Oh, you can double click and go faster. Excellent. That'll save us some time. Let's talk to Constance again.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I wanted to go over the case with you.
Okay, what have you got?
John Dupre isn't talking very much. I think he's hiding something.
Well, you have a knack for making people divulge their secrets.
There has to be something that'll make him talk. Perhaps I should check with those close to him. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay,
That's it, I think.
Oh, it's
then
really
you'd
loud
better get
here.
back to it.
That confirms my suspicions there, though. I really think Sean has something to do with this rather than Julie. My background ambient seems to be really loud. Let's turn sound down a little bit.
Nothing else to ask him right...
In here. Oh, she's gone. Okay, so we don't need her anymore. So let's see. Does she talk to us anymore?
Welcome back, Mr.
She's not gonna...
No. There's nowhere else to go.
Oh, Mr. Fordham, you're back.
We haven't got anything else...
So I guess the only thing we can do right now is... I don't know why these are still here. I've already done those. Well,
She's busy. That's not to bother her until we have something to ask.
okay. Oh, maybe I have to go to the coffee shop and wrap up the case. So let's go to Upton.
Can we talk?
Go on, I'm listening.
I think I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay, who's your prime suspect?
It was Juliet Montgomery, Madame Dupre's estranged daughter.
Your daughter? But why?
Madame Dupre disapproved of Juliet's relationship with Mr. Martin, and also tried to have her withdrawn from university. Juliet grew to hate her, and wanted to be free of her overbearing and controlling influence.
So, how did she do it?
Aside from studying botany, Juliet is also interested in ethericity. She rents a room in the Chum where she conducts her experiments. Among her notes, she talks about the ability to use the power to put living things into a death-like trance.
Fiendish. Nice work, Fordham. I'll pass along the information and we can make an arrest. It'll be bittersweet news for Mr. Martin, I think. And of course, I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan Fund to get you proper compensation for your work. For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Juliet Montgomery?
Yes, may I help you with something?
You're under arrest for the attempted murder of Madame Laura Dupre.
What? But how can that be?
Come with me, Miss Montgomery. We'll need to question you at the station.
Addie, I'm home. Addie?
She must still be out at her hairdressing appointment. I'm glad we're alone because I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yes, Bill, I know. I told you I'm doing my best to try and find the flower shop burglar.
No, for once, this isn't about him. This is about you.
Let's talk to ourselves a little bit, shall we?
You want to talk about me? What about me?
You can play dumb and deflect all you like with everyone else around you, but it won't work with me. I know exactly what you're thinking, and you know exactly what I'm gonna say.
Talk about how this case went?
You want to talk about how we did on this case?
Yes, that's exactly right. Have you already forgotten the old days, Miles? Before I died, we were solving cases like nobody's business. You were one of the best detectives on the force. But ever since you started taking that soporific, your mind hasn't been as sharp as before. If you're serious about taking on more complex cases, you need to listen to Adelaide and stop taking it. It's already had a negative effect on your performance.
What are you talking about? We discovered it was Juliet who was to blame.
Yes, but if you were working at your full abilities, you'd have come to that conclusion much sooner.
If I stop taking it, you won't let me sleep through the night. Nothing will change.
Well, things would change if you found you-know-who.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, well, I say a lot of things.
An understatement if ever there was one. Can't you just keep quiet without me having to take something?
Afraid not, old friend. That's just not who I am or how this works.
If you keep me up all night, I'll go crazy. Things have been hard enough as it is. And if, God forbid, Adelaide were ever to find out about...
Hello, Miles. Is there someone else here? I thought I heard you talking just now.
Fantastic. The jig is up. And here I thought we were doing so well, too.
No, I was just going over the case. Thinking aloud, you see.
Ah, of course.
How was your appointment?
Mrs. Lefebvre was her usual bossy and overly picky self, but she gave me a very generous tip.
That's good.
So I stopped by the shop on the way home and bought a new deck of cards.
Excellent. Shall we have a few rounds of écarté? I believe you demanded a rematch last time we played.
Yes, that would be nice.
Well, you certainly managed to dodge that bullet. I only wish I could say the same.
Oh, that's not fair. That's not fair at all. 2 weeks later. They're still in the same clothing.
And it says here they still don't know what caused that explosion.
I guarantee you it was sabotage. Those Redites have been causing a lot of trouble lately.
Is that the group of anti-steam tech radicals?
The very same.
Why Redites, though?
They're named after some fellow named Jonathan Red. Apparently the one who began the whole anti-steam movement. It's really a rather stupid name, if you ask me. And uncreative, to boot.
Well, what would you call them, then?
Something more evocative, like the Boom Boom Boys.
Definitely gets to the point, I'll give you that. Perhaps you'd best stick with the detecting, dearest. Your nomenclature needs a bit of work.
Well, I think it's about time I get ready for bed.
All right, Miles, if you must.
Let her be for now. Who could that be at this time of night?
Good question. But Adelaide can handle it for now. I need to take my medicine.
You certainly have your priorities in order. Go on then. Get that bottle of rat piss out of your nightstand and let's get this over with.
Is this still the end?
Addie can handle. Ugh, tastes like the devil's sweat.
You could just stop taking it, you know.
Bill, now is not the time to...
Miles, could you come back out here, please?
Be right there, dearest. Who was that at the door?
A late-night courier. You've got a message from Upton.
Fordham. This case makes the last one look simple. Meet me at the ruin ASAP. It's urgent.
It seems this case is rather urgent. She wants me to meet her as soon as possible.
But didn't you just take your soporific? Are you going to be all right to go?
It won't kick in for another hour or so. Should be plenty of time.
All right, I'm going to bed then. Good luck, dear.
Good night, Addie.
So I guess that's our second case. Yeah. Alright, well, we're going to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you are enjoying this as much as I am. We will get our second case in the next video. But for now, my name is Darwin. If you'd like this video, please like it. If you like what we are doing here on this channel, please subscribe, spread the word, and I will see you on the flip side.